Hello and welcome back to this edition of the Telescope Maker's Workshop. This is part 7 of the series of making a grinding stand, something that I've named after Dick Parker, its inventor. I call it the Parker barrel. In this edition we will be marking the legs, and we will then be drilling holes in them so that they can be attached to the mounting brackets, to the mounting blocks rather. In order to do this, I've got my 1x2 legs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark them 1.5 inches from the end, and that the screws are going to go in 1.5 inches from the end when they attach to the mounting blocks. I have my square that I'll use to mount and a Sharpie. And it's very straightforward. I've set this at 1.5 inches. I'm just going to take it up against the edge. I've got 2 of them next to each other. Mark, mark, draw a line across 2 of them. Other side, same thing. Now the 1.5 inch dimension is designed because the mounting blocks are 2x3, and I want to leave for about 1/2 inch from any side. I don't want to have the wood splitting. And then when I do that, I'm just going to mark 3 by freehand, 3 points that I want to drill my holes. 1, 2, 3. Both sides. 1, 2, 3. And I want to keep the holes no closer than about 1/2 inch from the end. I've now marked one entire leg, 1.5 inches for both sides, with 3 holes. Three, 2, 1. I'm back now with my hand drill with an 11/64 inch bit. I want to drill holes, and that'll be a total of 48 holes in these legs. The purpose of the holes is going to be to prevent the wood from splitting when I actually screw the screws in to attach the legs to the mounting block. I'm going to check carefully as to where I put the marks. Of course, I have a bubble level on the back of my drill, and that's helping me to keep everything straight and perpendicular, which is important to me. I know my table already is flat and so that everything pretty much matches up. And with that, I have 2 legs. Each has 3 holes on each end, and I'll be attaching those to the mounting blocks. And welcome back. In this edition of the Telescope Maker's Workshop, I'm going to be attaching the legs to the top and bottom of the stand. As you will recall, the legs were pre-drilled with 3 holes in a triangle pattern at each end. The first step I'm going to take is to drill one pilot hole for each leg in each of the mounting blocks which are already attached to the top and bottom of the stand. Once the pilot holes are drilled, I will then take my Titebond 3 glue, glue one end of the leg, put one screw through, and get it started by hand. Once it's started by hand and into the pilot hole, I'm then going to use the drill, once we have all 8 of them, to tighten it up. I'm then going to put the other end of the stand on. Again, the pilot holes will be pre-drilled, and we will mount the rest of the legs on from the other side. Once that's done, the stand will be in a fairly decent shape. Everything will be screwed once and glued. I can then put the remaining 32 screws in, 2 to each leg on each side, for stability purposes. And then the stand will be structurally complete. I'm using a 1/8 inch bit to drill the pilot hole for my deck screw. It's smaller than the deck screw, and that's important because you need to have some purchase. But it's large enough so that it's a decent pilot hole. And I'll be drilling that roughly in the middle of each surface that the leg will be attached. Starting now. And I have to be careful not to drill into any of the existing screws. So 2-inch deck screws. I have my Titebond 3. The next step is going to be to bring the deck screw most of the way through, all of the way through the stand. The leg. There we go. Turn it over. Apply some glue. It goes in fairly well. I probably will not need to do anything further as far as using the drill. little glue. You'll notice that these legs, when they come up, should be a few inches apart, roughly at the same angle, so that when we attach the top, they'll meet. Turn it upside down on the floor. Take the table top, turn it over. Now I'm going to start screwing in legs. Glue. Now here I'm going to glue each and every one of them pretty much right away, because when I start attaching, it's going to happen fairly quickly. Let's get some screws started also. Okay, now it's just time to start screwing in legs. One. The first one's the toughest. I usually go from one side to the other. And you want to make sure that the legs are roughly set so that they're opposite each other in the middle to get the stand relatively even. I'll have this done and I'll be back in a little while. Make sure you use the right bit. Tightening it right up. All right. I'm done. This table needs 16 additional screws just to firm it up. But as it is, this table holds me, and I weigh probably 240 pounds right now. I have a friend who has one of these tables, and on it he has a full thickness 24-inch fine annealed Pyrex blank that's been sitting there for 2 years. It is incredibly strong and a testament to the engineering prowess of Dick Parker, that not only is it a really, really good table, but that it can be built by somebody who has very limited carpentry skills. It will certainly hold any telescope project that you're going to be working on. In fact, it is so strong it might even hold your mother-in-law's fruitcake. That concludes this edition of the Telescope Maker's Workshop. I'm Francis O'Reilly. Have a great day.